Yo, what's going on, gang? It's your boy Emtee, and I'm back with another video, man. Now look, something interesting happened, right, a couple of days ago. Ambitiouz Entertainment re-uploaded Emtee's past catalog. I think it was 2 albums, if I'm not mistaken, which was Manando and Avery, right? Now, obviously, this will spark some sort of, shock, because the relationship between the two parties did not end on good terms, right? Emtee, when he left in 2019, he sort of spoke out against Ambitiouz Entertainment, talking about he was treated unfairly, and obviously a lot of money talks will be involved, as a lot of people believe that Emtee was being robbed by Ambitiouz Entertainment. Now, this is not something new, because artists that were signed to Ambitiouz before did come out to speak against Ambitiouz and how they treated artists. Artists such as Amanda Black, A Reese being the one that really made this a thing, because he was the one that really got out with J. Jody and TK, and then they caused a bit of a stir, with the other guys as well as Flame. Around that time, there were talks that Emtee was not happy as well. I mean, A Reese came out on an interview with Pearl Tusi, where he basically spoke about the mood in the camp, right? Where a lot of people were not happy, including Emtee, right? And they were planning this departure from the label, but obviously, as we know now, the guys were able to leave except Emtee. And at that time, it was really because it was contractual between Emtee and Ambitiouz, I believe that, I don't want to say as an offensive thing, but I believe that Ambitiouz, because it was a new independent, record label, artists such as Fifi Cooper and Emtee, who were signed way before other artists, were experiments, right? So they did kind of like sign them to bind them to the company, right? And also, as they bind them, they wanted to see if they put in their resources towards making these artists pop, will it happen? And if they do, can they use that as leverage to get other artists that are talented as well, so that they can, get more artists and make more money out of them, right? So obviously it's a business type of thing, But when Emtee signed to Ambitiouz, obviously he was still young. He didn't know a lot about the industry, and he was the first one to sign. I think it was Fifi Cooper, then Emtee. So when Fifi Cooper and Emtee signed to Ambitiouz, they sort of like gave the record label credibility. People became familiar with the record label, right? And the money that they made for the record label, it was given to other artists that were newly signed to Ambitiouz as well, to the producers that were signed to Ambitiouz as well, So it was kind of like a thing where those artists gave Ambitiouz Entertainment and built Ambitiouz Entertainment a name. Mind you, when Emtee was signed by Ambitiouz, Roll Up was already out. It was doing something, in the streets. And Ambitiouz just had to, put some money behind it, market it the right way, and just use the resources to ensure that the song is supported, it blows up, and also to probably drop an album, which they did, right? Fast forward to 2019, Ambitiouz and Emtee go their separate ways. Emtee drops a couple of songs, Brand New Day, Johannesburg. He drops Waves. I think Waves took off. It became a hit, A lot of people messed with it, And he fixed to drop Logan, right? So after that, a lot of people messed with Emtee, especially when he dropped Logan again, because there were a couple of hit songs there. The Long Way was a hit, over 1 million views. And then also there was Waves, which I spoke about, over 1 million views as well. And there was a song, was it Logan? But yeah, there were a couple of songs that actually did very, very well, So Emtee really bounced back, And then he sort of like got a distribution deal with Platoon, which we know right now they are very busy with the African space, where they're trying to sign a lot of African artists and provide distribution for them, right? So that was kind of dope to see Emtee bounce back, as well as Ambitiouz. They were also doing their thing, Java had a couple of dope songs that they released together, and Black Diamonds were going crazy, they had a lot of hit songs. They like Afro pop status. They were national hits, as well as they had a couple of hip hop songs that were like hits as well. The one that they had with Miss Prue. They also had the song with I think it was Dumelang, the one with Malumu Vector, and then the other one with Dr. Ma Vibes. And then currently they have this artist. I'm not sure if it's S Villa or Wave Rider, where they released a song with Professor Reese Matlisa, that song was a hit as well, So Ambitiouz was really doing well for themselves. So the question would be, in this instance, why did they re-release the albums? And I will talk about Emtee's response in a brief moment. Typically, when record labels re-release the album, maybe they wanted to, be updated with the times. Some record labels will re-release something that was, available like years ago on CD or vinyl, they will release it to streaming platforms to, make sure the money keeps coming in, because now CDs and vinyls are obsolete, right? They would basically do this to make sure people can get a hold of the musical piece on streaming platforms, because that's where the audience is, right? Sometimes what they will do is, if there are tweaks and updates on the musical piece, they will obviously re-release it, and sometimes they might want to reintroduce the album to the new audience that they gathered. And me personally, I don't believe it's any of the ones that I mentioned, but before I get into what happened after and why I think they re-released this, let me first get into Emtee's response, right? So Emtee also came out to respond after someone came on social media and asked, is Emtee going back to Ambitiouz? To which Emtee replied and said, to do what? Now obviously that's basically saying ain't none of that happening, right? So obviously Emtee is a bit upset over this, because there is no way you can have business ties and contribute so much to a record label, and then you sort of like use that without even me saying, look, me and Ambitiouz are good now. Because after what Emtee did for Ambitiouz, man, it's no wonder Emtee still holds a grudge. I mean, there's no way you could be the one artist that makes so many hits, and brought so much money for the company, introduced a lot of artists that made so much money for the company as well, and still be treated like trash. I mean, we know that Emtee's plaques are still at Ambitiouz. We know his awards are still at Ambitiouz.
Yeah, I won my first award, which was the South African Hip Hop Award. Yeah, I was very happy about that. I had the award in my hand, I'm going to the car. The ceremony just finished. Everybody congratulating me on my way out. And then the boss man comes up behind me on some, yeah, give me your smile. And I'm like, I stood there and thought, what is this? I looked at the award and I saw it's written Emtee on it. I looked at him and he repeated the statement. And then I didn't ask the third time. It just made sense to me. I'm like, okay, there you go again. Alright, take your thing, homie. I'm out.
His pay was garbage, and he couldn't do a lot of things that he wanted to do. He couldn't work with Trey Songz. Young Thug was like messing with him when Young Thug was in South Africa, but a lot of people didn't know that, because Ambitiouz was just gatekeeping everything. So I do understand why Emtee would be so disgruntled about this situation, And now let me just get into what I think is happening, right? There's two main things I think are happening right now. The first one would be to basically introduce Emtee's catalog or his past catalog to new Ambitiouz fans. I mean, a lot of people, as much as Ambitiouz had a lot of Emtee fans, but Ambitiouz also had Sjava fans, right? Maybe Sjava fans were not as much as of an Emtee type of fan base, even though they basically go along together, but Sjava was primarily like a Afro pop, Afro soul, Umaskandi type of artist. Most of his big hits are along those vibes, right? And then obviously there was Black Diamonds. Those guys were actually pretty good. The sound that they had was different. It was very traditionally motivated or traditionally influenced, And I think they also brought in their fan base to Ambitiouz. And then there are a couple of other artists that, did a couple of things for Ambitiouz. So they gathered a whole other fan base. Now they're trying to introduce Emtee's past catalog to the new fan base they might have gathered along the way, And then the major one, I think they did it for clout. And some of you might be asking yourself, I mean, why would they do it for clout? What would be the benefit of it all, right? I mean, if you guys go and check at Ambitiouz YouTube page, you'll find out that after that happened and a lot of people started talking about this situation, Crazy dropped a new EP. So that was basically some sort of, way to rile up the people and get a lot of people going back to Ambitiouz page or YouTube channel to try and see what's happening. And then when people obviously do that, what happens? The new EP by Crazy drops. When that happens, obviously people are gonna, some people, let me not say actually everyone, but let me say some people might actually do that, and it might backfire. A lot of Emtee fans might be like, we are not streaming this because, and essentially I think that's just it, man. I think it's just a clout type of move, as much as also they want to reintroduce Emtee's past catalog to the new audience that they have gathered and got along the way. But I just think it's a cloud game. Ambitiouz are very good with that. They are aware of what makes people talk, And I think they have a very good social media team. They are up to date. They know what buttons to press when they want to promote someone. So I think that's dope that they can actually do that. But for me personally, man, I just think like, Emtee should just never focus on them again, unless they're gonna keep doing business, because they will keep doing business at some point, unless Emtee tries to buy back his masters. And maybe if he is successful at buying back his masters, I think that will be the end of it. But currently, I think his publishing and masters are going through Ambitiouz Entertainment, so obviously they will do a lot of business together, for his past catalog. But you guys tell me what you think, man. Do you think Ambitiouz Entertainment? Oh, before I forget, there was also an article that basically spoke on what Josi said. Josi, the leader of Ambitiouz, he basically said you can't rule out anything that they might be working with Ambitiouz Entertainment. They can't make any announcement because it's still in talks. So you never know. They might be talking behind closed doors. And are they gonna be working together again? Are they gonna cut a deal? Maybe share half the splits, for the catalog, we don't know. We are still yet to find out. But yeah, you guys tell me what you think about this, man. Do you think Ambitiouz Entertainment and Emtee are reuniting behind closed doors, or do you think it was just a cloud game by Ambitiouz Entertainment? You guys leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'm your boy Emtee. I'm going, and peace.